Om Shanti. Today Baba is talking about how we are those children in the world that Baba calls the children of God. And although everybody is a child of God, still Baba says there is the divine community and the devilish community. And then Baba says, what you know, nobody knows in the world. And although, I know what we Brahmins know and what others don't know. But when I was reading the Murli, I really felt like sometimes the biggest mistake that we make in this path of knowledge is to take very ordinarily that which is very extraordinary. And sometimes you even take the knowledge for granted. And we don't appreciate enough that we really know something that the world doesn't know. And when we don't appreciate it, we are not able to take the full advantage of it, or we are not able to become powerful by embodying that knowledge. And today Baba reminds us that no one in the world knows that you were Sato Pradhan and you have become Tamo Pradhan. Nobody knows you were a deity. Yes, and this is a very big thing to know. Ever since we went to school or whatever, we were home educated or however it was, everybody told you you were a monkey. And then you've somehow evolved into a human, and this is very good. And we never came to realize our potential because we thought, okay, we are evolving from a monkey to a human and that's great. And we never realized that we are actually on the path of degradation. And we were deities. And now we have become so Tamo Pradhan, full of vices. And Baba says, now I tell you that your original state was so full of virtues, full of glory. And when you keep this in your buddhi and start behaving like who you originally are, then that gives a different, turn to your life. And Baba says, nobody knows what you know. And Baba says that nobody knows that people go and, they worship Shiv Baba and they go to temples and they pour milk and they offer whatever they want to offer on the Shiv Lingam. And then in different forms, in different religions, God is worshipped. But nobody knows this is my parent. This is my father. Does anybody know that God is my father? And I am the child of God who is the ocean of powers and virtues. And Baba says, once you start realizing that God Himself is your parent, teacher, and Satguru, it is like you have 3 engines pulling you. You get the power of 3 engines pulling you, and your speed can really be very good. You can move forward at great speed with this realization that God Himself is my parent, teacher, and Sadguru. And Baba says that you never thought that this parent, just like we understand that the parent of the body is so interested in taking care of us, similarly, Baba is so interested in our well being as a parent that he comes, sits in the body of Brahma Baba, and gives us what we need. So Baba says all these things people don't know, and people don't know what happens when you remember Baba. People don't know the power of remembrance. You know the power of remembrance. And let alone remembrance, when I came to Gyan, I was very surprised to know the power of a thought. And I did not know that, in fact, thought matters so much. Because we never paid attention to how much we think and what is the quality of my thought. And it was all kind of happening very unconsciously. So Baba has made us realize the power of so many things which we didn't know earlier. And Baba says, you are not ordinary anymore. You know what nobody knows. And since knowledge is power, you can do what nobody else can do. Yes, but let us ask ourselves, we know so much. We know the truth about who we are, who we belong to, and we know the truth about what is the aim and everything. And in the meditation also today, I was talking about how everything here is false. And in Hindi you say jhuti maya, jhuti kaya, jhutha sab sansar. But we don't really know because, in the Vedantic theory, they will say that everything you see with your eyes doesn't exist, So, but Baba says that everything is false, but it's not like it doesn't exist. It exists. Body exists. The souls exist. Everything in matter exists. But how you see it is false. Your perception, your attitude towards them is false. Your consciousness towards them is false. So it is true that this is a body and it exists and you are a soul, but then it's not true that you are a body. So the way you're working with stuff that you see is false. Not that that is false. All of that exists. It is perceptible. You can experience it. But how you are experiencing it is based on your consciousness, your attitude, your perception. And that is false. And when we understand that now you see, Baba says that everybody we live with is a soul brother. Yes, everybody we live with is a soul brother. And there is no reason to believe that they are better equipped than you in spiritual capacity, because we are all running on empty. Yes, and then you start thinking, this is my parent, or this is my brother, or this is a brother who is wealthy and then they should help me, or this is my wife who appears to be strong and who appears to be in control, and then she should take on responsibilities. Or you consider, this is my husband and he acts quite intelligent, so obviously he should take the responsibility. But then when you start seeing that everybody is a depleted soul and whatever they are putting on as a cover is just ego, and beneath that, nobody is better equipped than me to deal with my problems. then you start understanding that it is nobody's fault and it is your expectations that are disappointing you. So when you are in relationship consciousness, yes, so you feel betrayed, you expect, then you get disappointed, all of this starts happening. But when you start understanding they are all souls and they're just playing a role and they are not who they are playing. Yes, just like an actor is not the character they are playing. Similarly, this person is not the character they are playing. This is just a depleted soul playing this role. Your father is not a He-Man. Yes. Your mother is not a superwoman. Yes, even if you feel that they are older to you and then they should be more sensible. So, this should and ought to be is creating a lot of problems, and it is all based on body consciousness. So, every soul has vices, and every soul, there was this one sister, and she said that I'm very disappointed with my mother because she doesn't take a stand for me before her daughter-in-law. Yes, so my mother always, whenever there is a situation where she has to support either me or my sister-in-law, my bhabhi, so what she ends up doing is she ends up supporting my sister-in-law. And probably because I don't earn, I'm dependent and she's earning and she has money, so probably my mother gets sucked into that. So I said it could be so, or it could just be so that she just gives in to anybody who is a little more, formidable, and anybody who kind of is very, they kind of bully them, or sometimes you have a personality where you say things loudly and you kind of put your point forward in a strong way, and then she just gets sucked into that. Not that she has anything against you, maybe that's her nature. And then she said, you're right. It's not this first time that my mother has behaved like this, because every time my father also used to do something wrong, or even anybody in the family who talks loud and who is a little strong in how they come at her, she kind of gives in to them. So it's not about her role. So when you expect something from your mother and she's not able to give it to you, it's not because she's failing as a mother, it's because she's a depleted soul and she's not able to keep up her virtues and have good judgment or make good decisions. So this is how it is playing out. And then if we don't understand these things, if we don't understand the truth, we keep getting hurt. So Baba says that this is just a stage where everybody is playing their role and there are no true relationships. So the only true relationship you have with another soul is they are a soul brother, and a brother is not, more equipped to help you than you being equipped to help yourself. So they are just there. You can seek their cooperation. You can seek, them standing by, but then they are not in a better position to help you than you are in a position to help yourself. And then Baba also says that our attachment to everything that's on the stage, we have been given a context to play our roles. And when we get attached to all of that, then we start seeing loss or gain or victory or defeat or fame and defamation, and we start getting caught up in all these emotions because we are not able to see that this is just a stage, and scene by scene, scenes will come and go, and it has got nothing to do with how well you perform. So, in a movie, it's not that if the actor performs very well, then he will not have to fight with the villain or anything else, because that's scripted. And even if you're a very good actor, you go by the script, and when there the villain has to enter, he'll enter. When you have to fight the villain, you fight the villain. When it's time to win, you win. So basically everything is going on according to the script, and it doesn't matter how good an actor you are, you still go by the script. So it's not like if you do very good karma, you don't leave the body. Yes, when you have to leave the body, you leave the body. It's not like if you do very good karma, some co-actor who is with you will not leave you. Yes, sometimes people leave their bodies, and then we are in attachment to them, and we ask ourselves, what bad karma did I do to lose them? Yes, but it's not like that you lose them or retain them according to your karma. They come when they have to come, and they leave when they have to leave. And that's how the play is designed. And it is not dependent on your karma whether they leave early or leave late. But what depends on your karma is how you feel about it. So if you have really imbibed the truth, then you will know that it is not about you that scenes will change, situations will change, and people around you will be in different relationships and roles. But you are on your own, and you are a soul, and your power is your internal spiritual power. And the more you understand you are a soul, and the more you stay in remembrance of Baba, and the more you imbibe Baba's teachings, you will be in a good place come what may. So this is all that Baba is teaching today, and Baba is saying that you must understand that you're very fortunate and you have access to the knowledge of who you are, who you belong to, and how you draw in power from Baba. How do you take love from Baba, peace from Baba, purity from Baba? Because Baba is giving everything Baba is giving it through thought, through word, through action. So when you listen to the Murli carefully, you are drawing in Baba's love, purity, everything. Because Baba says as he is. And when he talks, he is giving you what he has. And then when you meditate, you connect your mind to Baba, he's giving that to you in thought. And when you look at the yajna and how every Baba's child is carrying on their life or based on Srimad, then you learn how to be soul conscious in action. So Baba is giving you all that you need to be soul conscious and powerful. And Baba says the more you make effort to be this, you are doing good karma, and you will be in a good place come what may. Okay, and if you still don't leave those old belief systems of I and mine, then you know the knowledge, but then it has not done any good to you because you are still behaving like the ones who don't have the knowledge. So we have got the knowledge, we know the truth, but let's ask ourselves whether we are acting according to what we know. And in today's Murli, Baba says that conflict, so you shouldn't come into conflict. And what does conflict do? So you see, you get the fruit of what you do, correct? You get the fruit of what you do. And when you are in conflict, all your energy is invested into what the other person is doing, and that stops you from doing your thing. So, a conflict is like something that just, just it stops your energy from flowing into good actions, good karma, and it kind of just blocks your energy and limits it to what one person is doing when you are in conflict with them. And then you keep on creating bad karma by thinking in a vicious and negative way about that person, and obviously nothing good can happen to you because you are not doing what you're supposed to do, because you are so fixated with this one person or a group of people. And Baba today says that there should be a very big conference in Delhi. Yes, and Baba says children should really come forward and do seva in a way that this knowledge reaches many people. However, Maya is such that she doesn't allow you to do this. She creates many obstacles. And what does Maya do? Maya creates new ways to waste your time, waste your thought, waste your energy, or she just goads you into using your time, thought, and energy in a negative way. And Baba is banking on the time, thought, energy of children to create Satyug. And then what Maya does is she just puts all Baba's plan, in the back burner by creating these obstacles where children start wasting their time, thought, and energy, or using them in a negative way. And Baba says nowadays there is also a lot of conflict of natures. So everybody has a different nature. No two people can be the same. Can you think the same as the other person? Can you think like the other person? Yes? No. You see, everybody's body needs 5 elements, but you don't feel hungry at the same time. You don't feel thirsty at the same time. Yes, so we are all different, and it's not going to happen that we think the same things, or we have the same way of articulating what we think, or we act in a similar way. That's not possible. We are all different. Our natures are different. And 5,000 years of this journey has ensured that everybody has different natures, bhav swabhav, the way we do things, the way we think in situations, the way we articulate what we are thinking is very different for each other. And some people will like to put something on their left, some people will like to put something on their right, and there are different ways we like to place things. There are different ways we like to place our words when we are talking. And Baba says that is going to happen. But that's not the reason for conflict. That's not the reason for conflict. The reason for conflict is not our difference in nature. The reason for conflict is lack of respect for the other. The reason for conflict is lack of respect for the other. And if you don't have respect for the other soul, then you ask yourself in your mind also and out loud also, how do they do this? And this is not the right way to do it. But if you have respect for the other person, then you're interested in finding out how do you do this. Yes, and I will tell you one thing. So when I started wearing white clothes, there was this one person who had no respect for me. And then they asked me, how can you wear white every day? It's such a bad way of living life. And then I met somebody who had respect, and they said, I can never think of wearing white every day. And it is marvelous how you people manage, to keep everything so white and clean, and it really inspires. And I hope I am able to do that someday. So, both those people, I am different from both those people. But in one area, there is a conflict, and with one person, there is no conflict because of that difference. Because in one place, there is respect, and in another place, there is no respect. So, it's not difference in natures that leads to conflict. It is lack of love and respect for that soul which leads to conflict. And this is why Baba says that always have faith in the family. So when you meet souls, have faith in them. What is that faith that you need to have in them? That they are worthy of love and respect. And if they are doing something or saying something, it's coming from a good intention. And even if you don't agree with it, or you don't want to do the same thing, still you don't reject them, because they are entitled to their opinion, and you can work a way out where you don't have to do the same thing, but they can do what they want, and it's okay. And when there is no love, no respect, then there is conflict. When there is a law, and love and respect is an aspect of soul consciousness. So when you're soul conscious, when you have love and respect for your own qualities, you have love and respect for who you are, your virtues, then when you are with another person, you make an attempt to be loveful and respectful towards them also. And when there is no soul consciousness and you are egoistic and winning matters to you, feeding your ego at the cost of another person's dignity matters to you, then you get into a conflict. And what that conflict does is it wastes your time, thought, and energy, and it makes you create bad karma. And Baba's Murli is for Baba's children. And today Baba in the Murli is talking about this conflict, because this happens within Baba's children's family also. So, Baba's children also forget these things and they come into conflict. And I will tell you one incident, and there were 4 children of Baba, and I asked them to, just lay a carpet. It was a big carpet and it was heavy. And I asked them to come together and lift it and lay it. And then, they had a difference of opinion about whether it should be positioned, from left to right or right to left, or I don't know what happened with them. And then they couldn't agree on how to place the carpet. And then ultimately all 4 of them left. And that work had to be done again by another 4 who had to be first taught how to worry about their own qualities and how they have to go to Satyug, and then worry about what's the right way to put the carpet. So when you stop worrying about, stop being concerned about your qualities and how soul consciousness is first important, and how keeping yourself intact in your virtues is first important, and when you forget that, then you enter into conflict over any little thing. And if you just make a list of what all do you enter into a conflict about, you will be ashamed when you see that list. How much milk to put in the tea, how much sugar to add in the tea, or what kind of, how to cut the vegetables, or how to place furniture, yes, or how to clean the curtains, or how this thing is will look better if it's positioned to the more towards the left. And these are the reasons for which we enter into conflict and lose our dignity. And Baba says it's not worth it, because you are forfeiting the whole aim of this spiritual journey when you don't understand that your time, thought, and energy is not to be wasted in this manner. So Baba says that nowadays there is also a lot of conflict of natures, because there's a lot of ego and there is no love and regard for the other. Children should do service in unity with one another. Unity is foremost. Yes. When those people are not in harmony, their kingdom is lost. And we have heard, we have understood from history that conflicts among the members in a kingdom is enough to overthrow the king. So when there is a conflict in a kingdom, it often results in the king losing his power. When there are two parties, they overthrow the president. Duality of opinion causes a lot of damage. They don't take long then even to oppose God. Baba says, even in God's home, you don't care whether you are in remembrance or not, whether you're losing the kingdom or not. And you go against Baba's Srimat also when you are in conflict. A lot of damage is caused. And then, people look at you and say, these are God's children. And they don't look like God's children at all from how they are behaving. And this causes a lot of damage, and you can never convince them that that was a momentary thing. Okay? When the evil spirit of anger comes, don't even ask. And Baba says, one is conflict, another thing is anger. If you don't watch your anger, if you don't take care of this sanskar of anger, then you can finish everything that you've earned in a second under the influence of anger. Everything that you've earned will get finished in 1 second under the influence of anger. Yes, and sometimes, I have seen people say that for 20 years I tolerated, and today I got angry and spoke up, and then all that I did for 20 years has gone down there, it's of no use anymore. So this anger, and Baba says, you should work on your anger and try to finish all that anger, that resentment that's in your heart by filling your heart with gratitude and love from Baba. So don't just not react in the moment, but finish all that is getting, getting deposited in your internal, tracks, memory track, by sitting and drawing in Baba's love and filling your heart with gratitude, so that your heart no longer holds complaints. So Baba says, and this anger can also cause a lot of damage. And this is why Baba says the jaggery knows and the bag of jaggery knows. And who is jaggery? Shiv Baba. And who is the bag of jaggery? Brahma Baba. So Baba says both of us know what children do in these moments when they come into conflict and when they get angry. The Father is telling you, children, the knowledge of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the world. Whether you imbibe this or not is up to you. It depends on your efforts. And Baba says, I am telling you everything. What you gain when you do as I say, what you lose when you don't do as I say. And now it's up to you to make effort. Okay. So this is about conflict, and then Baba says, become Baba's right hand. And today Baba says, you are now becoming sensible in an unlimited way. So Baba says, nobody is as sensible as you, and I am bringing you to your senses every day. Only those who follow Srimad become sensible. They cannot remain hidden. Now, when you become sensible, how does it reflect in your actions? You start doing righteous actions. Okay, sensible souls do righteous actions. And what are righteous actions? Actions that are in consonance with your right nature. And your nature is purity, peace, knowledge, love, happiness, bliss, power. So when you start doing actions which reflect that you are knowledgeful, you're pure, you're loveful, blissful, powerful, peaceful, that is called righteous actions. And Baba says, they always perform elevated tasks. I am the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness, and so you children should become just as sweet. So because Baba is so sweet, if we are really remembering Baba, we will become equally sweet. You should become the Father's right hands. And you know, I have seen that you may be very knowledgeable, you may talk a lot of sense, you may even be fair and just in your dealings, but you don't earn good wishes if you're not sweet. And earlier I used to always wonder why Baba focuses so much on sweetness. And what I have understood is, when you're filled with the sap of all virtues, you ultimately end up being sweet. So when you are pure, peaceful, loveful, blissful, knowledgeful, powerful, everything that Baba is making you, ultimately what you become is sweet, very sweet. And I remember that Prakashmani Dadiji also always used to say, balance of love and law. But when she came close to her final stage, and you keep growing, and then ultimately you become an embodiment of all teachings. And in the final years, when Dadi used to be asked, Dadi, whether balance of love and law is very important, Dadi used to say, no, no child, only love is enough. Love is enough. And that is something that says that ultimately when you imbibe everything, you become so loveful that love is enough. And when you don't have enough love, you have to use a lot of things. Yes, if I don't have enough love, I have to use a lot of knowledge to stay calm. But if I have love, I don't even need to remind myself of knowledge. If knowledge has made me loveful, then the purpose of knowledge is served. So Baba says, I am the remover of sorrow and bestower of happiness. So you also become very sweet. And Baba says, you should become the Father's right hands. And Baba in the Murli today says that all good karma is done, auspicious karma is done through right hands. So if you want to become an instrument through which I do the auspicious karma of creating Satyug, then you become my right hand. And a right hand is the one who always does righteous karma, who is always sweet. And Baba cannot use an instrument that's not sweet, or one who is not doing righteous karma. Okay? Now, from today to Sunday, I invite you all to come and tie the Raksha Bandhan. Yes, so in yesterday's Murli, Baba talked about how sisters, Brahmin sisters, should tie the Rakhi and take the vow that you stay pure. So all those who are in Delhi NCR have to come, they have to pay a visit. And those who are outside are sent a Rakhi. You will receive them if you have not received yet. Okay, so those who are outside, tie that Rakhi, remain remembrance of Baba, take the vow of purity. And those who are here must pay a visit to the center, and I will tie the Rakhi to you. Okay, Om Shanti.